Everyday Superpower, place where we talk body language, we talk relationships, game, attraction, repulsion, everything in between. Two links in the description of this video. One of them is going to take you through to the catalogue of body language. It's a playlist I've composed of my own material. It's the A to Z of reading someone purely through their subconscious behaviour. You'll be able to read the minds of others, giving you internalise that. Second to that is the Patreon. That's where the real game is. You'll learn attraction cues, repulsion cues. Will acknowledge these behaviours in real time as we watch first date footage together. Alright, now let's keep on moving. Topic of today. What is the topic of today? Let me find out. It is in regards to being a potential threat. We're talking about attraction. We're talking about establishing relationships with women. And we are talking women. We're talking biological women, because we're speaking on relations with those whom will see us as the masculine, as potential threat. Alright, now this is a relatively new concept, but it makes complete sense, and it's not generally a relatively new concept, but it's something I took into consideration a lot later down the line. It doesn't occur so much in the literature I have read, so it was interesting and makes complete sense. A woman needs to survive on a physical plane more so than a man, because a woman is weaker, physically smaller in stature, can get into problems. Unfortunately, it's the way the world works, as to where a woman is going to have a harder time walking home at night under nightfall, whereas a man, little less so. More predatory behaviour from the man in the physical sense, in the physical realm, can put that woman at harm. And as far as survival is concerned, that's rule number one of our nature, self-preservation. It's not going to work out well for a woman to put herself in a position as to where it's deemed there's potential for physical harm. And if she's not conscious about it, don't worry about it. Her subconscious wiring is going to start springing off. Her intuition is going to start telling her and making her feel discomfort to a degree where she will act accordingly and avoid situations with people, if not at environments, that trigger that mechanism. So you as a man, first and foremost, before you start to try to seduce somebody in a overt manner at the least, need to create this feeling of comfort. And I don't say you create the feeling of comfort, I'm saying you are that as to which isn't a potential physical threat to this woman. You're not weird. We know you're not weird. You're not odd. You're not a bad person. But she doesn't know any better. She does not know any better. So you have to establish this foundational baseline through light communication, through brief small talk, through a longer term communication, given that that's the way things pan out, to showcase the fact that you aren't gonna do something bad. Because you best believe it when I say some of the men around you, some of the men in the world, some of the men in your city, in your town, in your village, wherever, are not like you and are weird. Okay? And all it takes is that woman to experience that one bad time for it to knock on throughout her entire life. Yeah? Nobody wants that. So you have to showcase that you are not a threat. And then she will feel comfortable with you. And then we can start to engage on a serious basis. Right? The world you lived in, you were sexually attracted to women, but all of the women were at least what, 5 inches and upwards taller than you, generally speaking, and weighed 10, 15, 20, 30 kilograms more than you on a general basis upwards, and had the power to physically harm you, you'd be in the same position. Yes, I'm sexually attracted to that, it's my biological nature, but there's a little bit of a barrier that's in place that I just have to get over first, right? Before I move onwards with this relationship with this person, before I get to know them properly. Or if anything, I do need to get them know them properly before we can slide into the other direction. And oddly enough, it's that connection initially, it's that getting to know people where half of the game is played through highlighting the right aspects of your character and your psyche and creating a connection as to which is separate to the connection she's made with everybody else. And being different and colourful and establishing, a real fertile garden for your relationship to bloom. That's where the majority of that is going to happen. So it's a necessity. All I'm saying is that you don't need to jump into it by trying to be, the romantic legend you believe you are. It doesn't start like that. It shouldn't start like that. That's jumping into things too soon. They'll get cold feet. They'll get what do they call it? Buyer's remorse, and leave you before the deal has been sealed, right? Metaphorically speaking. And you know what? I could go on about that for some time, but I'm just quite simply going to leave that one there because it is what it is. If you are engaged in conversation anyway, that's a good start. There's a reason for that to happen because you best believe, for the most part, she's not going to be in that position if she doesn't want to be. There's some reason why you are talking to such depth as to where you are breaking down them barriers and walls. So congratulations for getting to that. Now you just need to showcase your, mental stability through whichever means you deem appropriate. Don't go playing the nice guy, that's not you. Good, honest conversation, which is reflected by the honest, non-verbal cues you would put out into the world, given you were telling the truth, is all you need to do. That woman will dial it in. She's not dumb. Her brain's not stupid. And she'll think there's something about this person I like, and I'd like to get to know more about them. Don't be threatening. You are threatening by default. You're the masculine. You're the power. You're the strength. You're physically demanding. They're not. So I'll leave on that note. Look after each other. Click like and subscribe. Peace.